Hi there guys, how you doing? I hope you're really well. So today's reading is kind of fun. It's what are the 3 things that they love and admire about you most. I had to look around then to see what it was and just to get the words right. So guys, I hope you're really well. Thank you so much for being here. If you'd like a reading with me, please check the description box below. £20, 20 minutes, and you get your reading within 24 hours. Yeah, so today we've got 3 choices, and yeah, let's get on with it. So, hi number ones, how are you doing? So, what are the 3 things that they admire most about you? Okay, so we've got the 2 of Swords, the 4 of Coins, and the Empress. So, the thing that they admire and love about you, number 1, we've got that you're very feminine. You're very nurturing, very feminine, very... And when I say motherly, you may be a good mother or you are a nurturer. You're very warm, you're very caring. If you're not nurturing and caring in the traditional mothering way, you can be very creative either. It's about birthing and then nurturing that creation. So this can be either literally with people or it can be with creative projects. But you're very warm, you're very nurturing, you're very and very feminine. You know, the Empress is very, very feminine. So that's number 1. Number 2, kind of, well, 2 and 3, they're kind of quite similar in certain respects, and then they have other aspects as well. You're quite a cautious person. You're quite a cautious person. You think things through. You're not flamboyant financially or otherwise, you know, because we've got the 4 of Coins and the 2 of Swords. This is someone who's a bit indecisive, trying to decide what to do. You know, torn 2 ways. So this is just a symbol. I'm reading this intuitively. So this is like a symbol of the situation, of something that they admire about you. And the 4 of Coins is about holding on to financial situations. So on a positive level, this is someone who's cautious. Someone who thinks things through, who's not overly flamboyant, who is very, very careful with money, with their ways. You're not an erratic person, okay? And they like that about you. So from a Coins point of view, the second thing, so that's a general for these 2. The second thing they love about you, other than your femininity, and then we've got this sort of general sense of being very kind of cautious and measured, sensible, responsible are other ways I would describe it. They're saying that you're very responsible with money, that you think carefully before you invest, and because of that, you're very stable. So the coins can be a metaphor, a symbol, that you're stable as a person, but also that you're stable financially. At times, it might be that maybe they might even criticize you for being too cautious, you know? Maybe a bit tight sometimes financially, but this is not a bad thing. They actually like it about you because it makes you very, very stable. This, in a positive way, intuitively, I feel like, because you would say with the 2 of Swords, it's like, you know, being torn 2 ways, being in 2 minds, not really sure which direction to take, you know, a sense of being in your thoughts about a situation, but you think things through. You think things through and you take your time to make your mind up about things. Again, this feeds into this idea that you are very stable. You're not erratic. You know, and this is this mother energy. You know how to protect the nest. You're careful, you're cautious, you're measured. You think things through carefully. You're stable. They know where they are with you. And that's what they love about you. Thank you so much, number ones. I'll see you tomorrow or on a private reading. Hi guys, how are you doing? So, what do they love and admire about you the most? Okay, so an overriding thing for number 2s is you've got 2 5s. You guys like to move and shake in your life. There are many aspects to you. of course, there are many aspects to everyone, but there are many aspects of you that they admire and love. But the fact that you can transform and change your life, that you're prepared to go through those changes, that you're prepared to do those difficult things, is one of the things that they admire most about you. You've maybe gone through quite a lot of difficulty, battles, suffering, perhaps in your younger life, perhaps now. And they really admire that about you, because you're prepared to do those things. You're prepared to go through those things and come out the other side. You look to personally transform yourself. And that's this Chariot. You know, the first thing, you know, the first specific thing they admire is that, you know, you move forwards. You know, you triumph over adversity. You keep going. Even when things are difficult, you are very focused. You are prepared to keep going no matter what. You know, you endure the bumps and peaks and troughs, and you just keep going. And you are, like they said, they're saying again, you're very focused. You're very determined. You know, and the Chariot, this person in the Chariot is a warrior. You know, you are like this warrior prince or princess, that you are prepared to keep going. You're prepared to keep going. You're prepared to transform. That said, even though you're a warrior, underneath you're very sentimental. You have a sentimental side. You have a soft side. You have a sweet side. You have a very vulnerable and sweet sentimental side that sometimes borders on perhaps internally a bit traumatized and dramatic, which you maybe don't let everybody see, but they find this sort of vulnerability in you very attractive, because, you know, whilst on the surface you charge forwards and you are not afraid to kind of put yourself out there and make the necessary changes, underneath it all you've got a real soft, accessible side that they find very, very alluring, you know, because you have got the ability to kind of show your emotions, because this Five of Cups is someone who is really feeling the loss of these cups really deeply. So you're deep down, you're a very emotional person under the surface, okay? I feel like with the Five of Swords, this is telling me that you understand how to surrender. You know, you are quite away on the spiritual journey. You're able to, you know, this Chariot energy, when I was talking about this, it kind of gives the impression that you just charge forwards no matter what. That's not really true. You have the ability to surrender. You know when to fight and when not to. You've got this sense of, you're prepared to kind of, you're not bothered about being wrong. I mean, nobody likes it really, I suppose. But, you know, you have that spiritual awareness that when chaos ensues and things happen around you, you know, that you do understand how to walk away, that you don't get overly involved in drama. You know, you're not totally unconscious and asleep. You're kind of aware and awakening or awakened. You know, and you know how to surrender to life. You know how to go with the flow. You don't take up the petty battles. You know, and you're really all about transforming your life. And they find this really alluring, attractive. They really admire it in you. And it's one of the things, you know, this whole package of like this enduring, I will transform my life and improve myself and my life and become more peaceful and happier is something they really love about you. Thank you so much, number twos. I'll see you tomorrow or on a private reading. Hi, number threes. How are you doing? So what do they love and admire most about you? This is fun. This is interesting. We've got the Death card. What they love about you is that you can move on from things. And by this, I mean like, you don't sweat the small stuff. You know, okay, they're saying for some of you, you don't sweat the sweat. It's one or the other. It's one extreme or the other. You fall into one of two brackets. Either you're quite dramatic, so when something ends, it's like, oh, you know, see, this card is a symbol. Intuitively, this is not the meaning of the Death card for anybody who's thinking, what do you want about, Kat? Some of you, this is... that you're very dramatic. So, you know, like when something happens, it's the end of the world. Okay? For some of you, this is a card that says that you don't sweat the small stuff. So you're going to fall into one of those two brackets. So when things end, you're able to move on from it, and that you are prepared to change and transform things in your life. Okay? So one of those two things is what they love most about you. There are a couple of you who might say, well, actually, I fall into both of those brackets, and in which case, then that's true as well. You are a fun person, you know, because this Seven of Swords, this is about wearing a false mask, being, it can be a card of like deception, but this for me, in a positive way, in terms of a personality trait, this is someone who keeps the other person guessing. They're fun, they like to play games with the other, but not in a mean or a deceptive way, but in a fun way. Role play, messing around, a bit of fun, a bit of teasing. You know, you keep them on their toes in a nice way, not in a narcissistic way. You know, you keep them on their toes. They kind of, you keep them guessing, you keep them trying to figure you out, and they like that because it keeps it light, it keeps it fun. You know, that said, you are not. One of the other things they love about you is that you are very giving. You're grounded and giving. So whilst you are fun, perhaps dramatic, perhaps you're someone who changes and transforms their life. So although you're kind of, in a way, on the surface dramatic, or that you make a lot of changes in your life, and you are kind of, because of those things, they never quite know where they are with you. Whichever description you fall into there, it still transfers into this, because of this energy, they never really know where they are with you, which they like, you know, because on a mental level you kind of keep them on their toes, but fundamentally you are a very giving person, and when it comes down to it, when they need you, you're very grounded with this coins card. So you know how to have fun, you know how to change your life, you know how to change things up, and when things do alter in your life, you can be quite dramatic, but ultimately you are reliable. The Six of Coins, you've got an underlying sense of tranquility, an underlying sense of balance, even though on the surface things can be kind of changing and moving around a lot. Underneath it all, you're someone they can rely on, and they admire and respect that about you, because although you're fun, although you change, although things are kind of light and upbeat in a way, you're very giving, you're very reliable, you're always there for them, and you offer them a lot of support and stability, and you would do anything for them. That's what they're saying here. You would do anything for them, and they really love and admire that about you. Guys, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you on tomorrow's reading or a private reading in the meantime. See you soon.